Welcome to the mesmerizing world of Avatar, where humans explore a distant moon called Pandora, home to incredible creatures and a race of people who live in harmony with nature. But what happens when one man must choose between his world and the world he learns to love? In the distant future, humans travel to Pandora, a stunning moon filled with life, seeking a rare mineral called unobtainium. But while Pandora's resources promise unimaginable wealth, its inhabitants, the Gnostics, live in a delicate balance with their environment. Our story begins with a soldier, Jake Sully, who embarks on an unexpected journey that will change his life forever. Meet Jake Sully, a former Marine who's given a second chance to walk again through a genetically engineered Gnostic's body. Tasked with infiltrating the Gnostics people, Jake's mission is simple: learn about their ways and help humans take what they need. But the deeper he goes into the heart of Pandora, the more he finds himself questioning where his loyalty lies. As the humans prepare to destroy the Gnostics' sacred lands to mine the precious mineral, Jake finds himself torn between two worlds. He must choose between following orders or protecting the people who have welcomed him into their tribe. What follows is a battle not only for survival, but for the soul of Pandora. Will Jake fight for the Gnostics or betray them for his own kind? Stay with me as we dive into the epic story of Avatar, where the fight for a world's future will determine the fate of both humanity and Pandora. And now, let's begin the full story of Avatar. In the distant future, Earth's resources have been depleted, leading humans to search for alternatives in outer space. They discover Pandora, a lush, alien moon home to an abundant resource called unobtainium. A massive corporation is sent to mine it, but the native inhabitants, the Gnostics, stand in their way. The Gnostics are a tall, blue-skinned race that lives in harmony with nature. Their connection to the environment becomes a major obstacle to the human agenda. Jake Sully, a former Marine who is paralyzed from the waist down, is called upon to join the Avatar program. His twin brother was meant to participate, but after his untimely death, Jake is offered the chance to take his place. The program involves linking human minds to genetically engineered Gnostics bodies called avatars. This allows humans to explore Pandora while interacting with the Gnostics without risking their lives. For Jake, this is also an opportunity to walk again through his avatar. Jake arrives on Pandora, where the air is toxic for humans, forcing them to wear breathing masks. Despite his initial confusion and skepticism, he is eager to take on his avatar body. When Jake first wakes up in his Gnostics avatar, the feeling is exhilarating. He can run, jump, and experience a freedom he hasn't felt in years. Under the guidance of Dr. Grace Augustine, the head of the Avatar program, Jake and other scientists begin their mission to learn more about Pandora and the Gnostics. Jake quickly adapts to his new body and environment. One day, while on a mission, Jake becomes separated from his group in the dense jungle of Pandora. As night falls, the jungle becomes increasingly dangerous, with bioluminescent creatures and deadly predators lurking. Just as he is about to be attacked, Jake is saved by Neytiri, a skilled Gnostics warrior. Neytiri initially sees Jake as a threat, but Iwa, the spiritual force worshipped by the Gnostics, signals that there is something special about him. Neytiri reluctantly agrees to take Jake to her clan, the Omaticaya. At first, the Omaticaya are distrustful of Jake, seeing him as another human invader. However, Neytiri's mother, Emoat, the spiritual leader of the clan, insists that Jake be given a chance. She instructs Neytiri to teach Jake the ways of the Gnostics. Over time, Jake learns to ride the dire horse, speak the Gnostics language, and understand the deep connection the Gnostics have with their environment. Through his training, Jake begins to question his loyalty to the humans and the corporation. He starts to fall in love with Neytiri and the Gnostics' way of life. Back at the human base, Colonel Quaritch, the ruthless military leader in charge of security, watches Jake's progress closely. He promises Jake that if he provides useful intelligence about the Gnostics and their home, he'll help Jake regain the ability to walk permanently through an expensive surgery. Torn between his desire for his old life and his growing respect for the Gnostics, Jake struggles with his mission. Quaritch and the corporation grow impatient, ready to use force to get the unobtainium beneath the Gnostics' sacred home tree. The tension between the two worlds builds. As Jake integrates further into Gnostic society, he bonds deeply with the tribe and with Neytiri. He experiences the beauty of Pandora's nature and learns the Gnostics' spiritual connection to Iwa, their goddess who represents all life. Jake's transformation is complete when he tames a powerful flying creature known as a Banshee or Ikran, a rite of passage for the Gnostics' warriors. This solidifies his place among the Omadikeya. Jake feels like he truly belongs for the first time, but he knows his betrayal of the humans is inevitable. As Jake becomes more immersed in the Gnostics' culture, his reports back to Colonel Quaritch grow more cautious. The humans, however, are running out of patience. They are willing to destroy Home Tree, the center of the Gnostics' life, to gain access to the unobtainium. Jake pleads with the corporation to find a peaceful solution, but his warnings fall on deaf ears. Colonel Quaritch prepares for an all-out assault on Home Tree. Desperate, Jake tries to warn the Gnostics of the impending danger, but they no longer trust him. Jake's betrayal is revealed when the humans launch their assault on Home Tree. The Gnostics, horrified, see Jake as part of the invasion force. Despite his pleas, the Omadikeya turn against him, and Neytiri is heartbroken by his deception. The military's assault is brutal, and Home Tree is destroyed in a fiery explosion. Many Gnostics are killed, and the survivors are forced to flee. Jake, devastated by the destruction and the loss of Neytiri's trust, decides to take a stand against the humans. After the attack, Jake is determined to make things right. He and the remaining scientists, including Dr. Augustine, disconnect from the human military and join the Gnostics in their fight for survival. To prove his loyalty to the Gnostics and regain their trust, Jake attempts a dangerous act, taming the legendary Toruk, the most powerful creature in the sky. The Toruk is feared and respected by all Gnostics, and only a few have ever ridden it. With great effort, Jake succeeds and returns to the Gnostics as the rider of Toruk. Jake's return as the rider of Toruk earns him the respect of the Gnostics and Neytiri's forgiveness. He becomes their leader in the fight against the humans. Colonel Quaritch, realizing that Jake has fully turned against them, prepares for a final confrontation. Both sides gather their forces, and a massive battle looms on the horizon. Jake knows that this battle will determine the future of Pandora and the Gnostics. He rallies the Gnostics and the creatures of the jungle to fight for their home. As the battle begins, the humans use advanced technology and weapons to overpower the Gnostics at first. The Gnostics fight bravely, but they are vastly outgunned. However, Jake's connection to Pandora's wildlife gives them an unexpected advantage. He calls upon Iwa, and the animals of Pandora rise up to defend their land. The tide of the battle shifts as the Gnostics and the creatures of Pandora begin to push back against the human forces. The jungle itself seems to fight alongside the Gnostics. The battle reaches its climax when Colonel Quaritch and Jake face off in a final confrontation. Quaritch, piloting a powerful mech suit, attacks Jake's avatar in a deadly duel. Despite the overwhelming odds, Jake fights with everything he has, determined to protect the Gnostics and Pandora. Neytiri, watching from the distance, steps in to aid Jake, firing arrows at Quaritch. In a desperate moment, Jake manages to destroy Quaritch's suit, and Neytiri delivers the final blow, ending the Colonel's reign of terror. With the humans defeated and driven off Pandora, peace returns to the Gnostics. The surviving humans are sent back to Earth, and Jake chooses to remain with the Gnostics. He decides to permanently transfer his consciousness into his avatar body using a sacred ritual, leaving his human body behind. Jake becomes fully Gnostics, accepting his new life among the Omaticea tribe. He and Neytiri look forward to rebuilding their home and protecting Pandora from any future threats. Jake has finally found where he belongs. Pandora, once again at peace, thrives under the care of the Gnostics and their new leader, Jake. Jake and Neytiri's bond grows stronger as they prepare to face the challenges ahead. The spirit of Iwa continues to guide the Gnostics, ensuring the balance of life on Pandora is maintained. Jake, now fully part of this world, vows to protect Pandora from any harm. The lessons he learned from his journey have shaped him into a true warrior, leader, and protector of the land. The legend of Jake Sully, the human who became one of the Gnostics, spreads throughout Pandora. His courage and selflessness inspire the next generation of Gnostics to live in harmony with nature and honor their connection to Iwa. As time passes, Jake's story becomes a symbol of unity between the Gnostics and the natural world. Pandora flourishes, and the Gnostics remain ever watchful, knowing that their fight for peace may not be over. But with Jake leading them, they are prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead.
Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon.